What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the Raw recap. Start off with a recap of last night's TLC match. Then Kurt Angle comes out, cuts a promo about this coming Survivor Series. He says it's the only time of the year where Smackdown superstars face Raw superstars. And he announces a few of the matches. Alexa Bliss versus Natalya, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Usos, The Miz versus Baron Corbin, and Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, or as Kurt Angle likes to call him, Jinder Mahal.
What?
Okay. He also said there's going to be 2 Survivor Series elimination matches with the men's team and the women's team, and those will be announced later on. Then The Miz comes out. He starts running his mouth, bitching about what happened last night. He tells Kurt Angle that he should resign for what has been happening. Then The Miz, The Bar, and Curtis Axel surround the ring like they're going to jump Kurt Angle. Then Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins come out, and then The Miz and company back away. Then Kurt Angle announces that there's going to be a match coming up next. The Miz and The Bar versus Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles, still on loan from SmackDown. This is a pretty good match. There's a lot of offense between both teams. Dean Ambrose needs to do something with that lunatic lariat. It was interesting when he started doing it at first. Then it's just become old and repetitive, and you kind of know when he's getting ready to do it. AJ Styles got the phenomenal forearm on Cesaro for the pin. After the match, Kane comes out. Both Kane, The Miz, The Bar, and Curtis Axel beat up the Shield. Then after another recap of TLC, again, Kane cuts a promo on Braun Strowman and says that I am Raw's only monster and that he wants competition. Sound familiar? So Finn Balor comes out and they have a match. This is basically speed versus strength. When Finn Balor can keep moving, he can take Kane. But up close, Kane has him every time. Finn Balor did get some offense in, was trying to go for the coup de grace, but Kane countered it with a choke slam. Actually, he pulled him off of the top rope and gave him a choke slam. But in all, he gave him 3 choke slams in a row and then pinned him. We then have the Raw debut of Asuka versus Emma, a rematch from last night. It was a good match. It was basically almost a cookie cutter of last night's match. They let it go for a good bit of time. Asuka got the Asuka lock on Emma for the submission. For being the second match that I've seen Asuka participate in, it looks like she's going to be pretty good to see in the matches. After the commercial, Alexa Bliss comes out, cuts a promo about Survivor Series, and tells the crowd that she wants her appreciation. She tells the crowd that she wants them to chant, "You deserve it," and every time she tries to get them to start it, they boo her. Mickie James comes out, kicks Alexa Bliss in the gut, and gives her a DDT in the middle of the ring, and then leaves. We then have Elias Sampson come out, trying to sing a song, having technical difficulties. Turns out it was Jason Jordan again.
Dude.
So these two are fighting again.
What the fuck?
Once again, I don't know why we're doing this. This is Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt all over again. Not completely interested in this match. The match ended up going outside the ring. They spent more than a 10-second count out there. So why wasn't it a double count out? But Elias smashes his guitar over Jason Jordan's head, gets disqualified, so Jason Jordan wins. I might as well predict we'll see Jason Jordan and Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt and Elias Sampson in a tag team match. Just saying. We then have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming out. As they're approaching the ring, Michael Cole says that Brock Lesnar is the most dominating champion in the WWE. Fuck my ass. He doesn't do shit. He's been in what? Maybe 5 matches the entire year? I would call him dominating if he was at every Raw in a match every week. I know he's been on house shows. I'm not counting those because I don't go to every house show. But on Raw, no, he's not there every week. When he's there every week, he's just standing in the middle of the ring, and Paul Heyman stands behind him, running his mouth. As much as I'd hate to say it, The Miz is the only true champion in Raw, and I hate The Miz. But, unfortunately, being the fact that Brock Lesnar's nowhere to be seen every week, nor does he compete every week, I have to go to the next one down, which unfortunately is The Miz. So anyway, rant over. Paul Heyman cuts promo on SummerSlam, then goes on to run down Jinder Mahal. That's the long and the short of that. Basically, Paul Heyman ran his mouth. Brock Lesnar stood in the ring, like always. We then have Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox, and Bayley in a triple threat match to be the team captain of the Raw women's team. This was an okay match. Wasn't too impressed with it. Partway through the match, Alicia Fox kirks out, grabs the ring bell, starts banging on it like an idiot. But Alicia Fox got the pin on Bayley. Great. So now we're going to be hearing Alicia Fox all the way up until SummerSlam. I'd be willing to donate my roll of duct tape to the crew of Raw, just in case if they want to go and duct tape Alicia Fox's mouth shut so we don't have to hear it. We then had absolutely nothing to do with the cruiserweights, so we stuck 10 of them in one match. Yay! Enzo Amore, Tony Nese, Noam Dar, Arya Daivari, and Drew Gulak versus Kalisto, Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Gran Metalik. Enzo still has a problem with his voice, so he can't talk. Yay! But unfortunately, Drew Gulak runs his mouth for Enzo. Damn! It wasn't much of a match. The only thing I will give credit for is they were doing a whole bunch of flippy shit, which I tend to like, but we just didn't have anything to do with the cruiserweights, so we're just going to throw them all in one match. I don't like that. Kalisto got the Salida del Sol on Enzo for the pin, so Team Lucha won it. Yay. In the closing segments of Raw, we had Kurt Angle come out to give the men's Survivor Series team. Before he starts to announce it, Shane McMahon's music hits. Kurt Angle starts looking around, wondering where he's at, and Shane McMahon and pretty much the entire Smackdown roster comes through the crowd. Shane McMahon gets into the ring, and the roster surrounds the ring. Now, earlier in the night, there was a small bit between the two of them where they're congratulating each other over the TLC match and the Hell in a Cell match, and they were posturing over, oh, Team SmackDown's going to beat Team Raw at Survivor Series. No, Team SmackDown's going to be Raw. Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyways, here we are now at the end of the show, and Shane McMahon tells Kurt Angle that Raw is under siege. Kurt Angle scurries away, afraid. Shane McMahon sends the roster out after him. After the SmackDown roster gets through the gorilla position, they run into Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, beat them up. Then they go from locker room to locker room, beating anybody from Raw up. Baron Corbin flexed his muscles in beating up an intern. Chad Gable showed that he was a tough guy by kicking over a light. The Raw women and the SmackDown women start fighting, and the SmackDown women stand tall on it. As the Blue Mob goes through the backstage, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins jump them, and they get their ass handed to them. By this time, Rusev and Baron Corbin have Kurt Angle by the arms, and they escort him back to the ring. Kurt Angle stands face to face with Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon says, "Bring your medals and bring your Raw roster to Survivor Series, and we are going to finish what we started." My biggest question to all of this was, where is the most dominating, conquering force in all of WWE, Brock Lesnar, when all this was happening? I know why. Because he's part-time. He did his bit, and he probably left like the little bitch that he is. It'd been interesting to see what would happen when the Blue Mob hit Brock Lesnar, whether Brock Lesnar would have stood a chance, or would he have gotten his ass handed to him by 20 other people. This is a pretty good Fallout show for TLC. The matches weren't entirely great. The Asuka-Emma match was alright. The Ambrose, Rollins, and Styles versus The Miz and The Bar match was pretty good. Everything else was either okay to just straight. I'm not even going to try to comment on it because I'll probably have this thing demonetized. But all in all, it was an okay Raw. The ending was pretty good. I liked it. It'd be interesting to see tomorrow on SmackDown if the Raw roster invades SmackDown in retaliation to what happened tonight. But that'll do it for this Raw recap. I'll be back tomorrow for the SmackDown review. Leave your comment below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.